أصحاب المعالي، أصحاب السعادة، المشاهدون والمشاهدات عن بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Online. Good evening. We are so delighted to celebrate the launch of Etimad New Products. This platform launched by Ministry of Finance in 2018 to empower digital transformation and to go for paperless transactions and to increase transactions and the integrity. This is to enable the government entities and the private sector to do all the transactions, financial transactions, and to enhance partnership for the support and posting government projects. And I would like to invite His Excellency Deputy Minister for Technology and Development, Mr. Ahmed Swayan. The floor is yours. Good evening. The Ministry of Finance has empowered government entities to efficiently manage their resources. And over the last previous years, the ministry has supported government digital transformation in the light of the Vision 2030, and it has launched a lot of initiatives to enhance this transformation for its impact, for the effectiveness of the role of the ministry during this exceptional period of time. In the context of these efforts, the ministry has launched in January 2018 one of the most important initiatives, which is Etimad platform, to be the comprehensive digital transformation to provide services for the private and public sector, and to provide services, e-services, which contribute to safe efforts and to enhance administrative procedures. Despite the continued successes by the platform, the continuous development is ongoing, and due to and we enhance it by the achievements which reflected in the service profile. Today we celebrate the launch of 12 products on Etimad platform, and there is ongoing innovation and development of these products. I would like to thank Your Excellency, Deputy Minister. Now the floor is yours to launch the new products and give us definitions for them. The first product is budget services provided to government entities, including preparing budgets and deployments and enhancement and budget items. Regarding the tenders and the government procurement, we provide Etimad marketplace that the customers can get the services in direct manner, and for public tenders, they can look at the quantities and the bills of quantities. The second product is the financial financial claims. The government entities, they can get their financial claims, and we are so proud to provide one of the most important features to enable the private sectors to get their financial claims through the platform and to address them electronically. For the fourth product, which is integration system services, the government entities can link their services with the Etimad through Yes Sir programs. And the support decision making, we have provided the business intelligence for government entities through the fifth product reporting and indicators, including budget, government procurement tenders, and financial entitlements for employers, and and dashboard for the leaders to follow the performance. And to enhance the experience of employees in government sector, we provide the sixth product, which is government recap. The employer can get on the performance to get a ticket and select that trip with a direct link with the Saudi Airlines and to issue the tickets in direct manner. In addition to this, we provide the fourth product to inquire about the salary and the financial entitlements. As the financial sector and the bank sector is the main partner, we provide the fourth product, which is letter of guarantee, which is to issue, modify, and canceling with a direct link with the government entities. In addition to this, we provide the ninth product to inquire about the project of the suppliers and contractors and the financial entitlements and the financial dues. And the financial sector and the banking sector, we provide the deduction management for the retirement and the pension and the government funds, and the commercial banks can manage deductions in direct manner via Etimad platform, and this will ensure more guarantees for these entities, for the beneficiaries from the public and the private sector. The 11th product for the funding and waiving the entitlements. This is for SMEs through the process and transactions in Etimad platform in tendering. They can benefit from by providing by applying directly for the financing companies and they get the required facilitation. And in conclusion, we provide the 12th product, which is auction of Etimad. We use the reverse auction. I would like to thank you all, and I would like to congratulate His Excellency Deputy Minister for launching these new products. And in the second part of this session, which titled The Impact of Digital Transformation on the Financial and Economic Ecosystem, we will discuss with the panelists from the private and public sectors a number of topics related to the digital transformation on economic and the financial sector, and the role of Etimad platform to enable government entities and its impact on financial sector, and foreseeing the future and inside the future. I would like to welcome the panelists, His Excellency Deputy Minister of Human Resources and Social Development for Digital Transformation, Mr. Faisal, and the head of GPA, and Mr. Sami Sindi, the Director General of Saudi Airlines, and Mr. Sadhasi of Riyadh Bank and Bayan Company, Mr. Ahmed Al Majid. I would like to welcome you all. I will start with Mr. Abdurrahman Mismari, the portal of local content. Etimad platform has a pivotal role in institutionalizing the government services and supporting and posting local content. Please, can you shed light on the role of Etimad platform in government procurement? I would like to thank you, Mr. Mahmoud. I am so happy of having me on this webinar, and this is very remarkable event because it shed light on most fascinating journey of digital transformation in the kingdom. No doubt, Etimad platform has proven in its main rule to put a framework for the government tenders since the first stage of across all the stages of tender and procurement. It's a big supporter for enhance the spending efficiency and expedite the financial procedures, and increasing and promoting integrity in public procurement with the launch of the new systems of GTPL. The Etimad platform was the cornerstone and the bedrock for the success of the implementation of this system for the beneficiaries and for the private sector. No doubt, the new system of GTPL is a paradigm shift in terms of new mechanisms and new contracting, and in terms of consolidating which is the local content as a part of government procurement through the regulations of the local content for SMEs and publicly listed companies. This regulation has put a number of mechanisms for enhancing local content, and the role of Etimad platform has been motivating to apply all these requirements. For instance, if we take the mechanism of a mandatory list to buy national products of national origin through Etimad, we can add this list in tenders and documents, and this mechanisms can give you momentum to implement these regulations. And in LCGPA, we work with our colleagues in Etimad to develop a portal for local content, which is part of the portal, and it will help us to enhance local content. Engineer Faisal, early this year, the ministry has got remarkable results of 95% of government service indicators. How did you succeed in doing as such? I would like to thank you, Mr. Mahmoud, and I would like to thank Mr. Tariq and Mr. Abdurrahman and Mr. Ahmed Al-Majid. And I am so delighted being with you in this this event. And I would like to congratulate Mr. Ahmed Swayan, Deputy Minister for Technology and Development, and this celebration and has a lot of leaps and a milestone for Etimad development. Before talking about the achievements that we have made in the ministry regarding our high ranking in the indicators of services, I would like to congratulate the entire nation for the huge leaps that we have done on international rankings. We have ranked 9 in the e-government services and the 40 ranks in digital transformation and infrastructure due to the concerted efforts across different sectors and racing and the competition to digitizing and automation of government services. So today we have national platforms contributing to improving the customer service and raising the experience of customers, such as Abshir, which has greatly contributed to service provided to citizen, and the COA for the entities and the fees and license and the FAST and the Miras platforms and the other platforms which all combined has made a paradigm shift in digital transformation at the national level. Regarding the maturity indicator measured by Yasser platform, the most important thing that all these entities are competing to improve percentages and achievements of progress, and the progress in this indicator reflected in the service provided to end users and beneficiaries, and achieving the targets and the objectives of these entities, and which in turn reflected in the ranking of the kingdom. The most important achievement and we have reviewed the services and enhancing services to meet the requirements of this indicator. Today we have more than 700 services across different sectors, labor, social development, which touches different activities and different entities across different sectors. And we have made a lot of improvements on these services to make sure of their integrity with the relevant stakeholders, with the Ministry of Education or general organization of pension, to make a paradigm shift in the experience of our customers. Thanks to Allah, we have made huge leaps in the maturity of services indicator in Yasser platform. Wonderful. Mr. Tariq, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia over the last periods was able to achieve leaps, remarkable leaps for laying out high efficient infrastructure. To what extent banking sector has benefited from such infrastructure and the services supported by these digital transformation during the pandemic, coronavirus pandemic? And what are the fruits reaped by the citizen? In the name of Allah, Mr. Merciful, Mr. Compassionate, I would like to thank you, Mr. Mahmoud. And first of all, I would like to congratulate the Minister of Finance and His Excellency Ahmed Swayan for launching these wonderful and amazing and fascinating products. And he was smiling because these surfaces as banking systems will make a huge benefits. And the second behind this smiling is that this huge development in government e-services. If you told me 5 years ago that we would achieve this remarkable achievement, I would say it's impossible. But today we witness huge leaps. And as you know, that the banking sector was proactive, but today we have fierce competition from the government services, and the raise of the bar for us, as you said, that banking sector was a proactive in providing e-services and the leader in providing, and when compared with the other advanced countries, I'm talking about USA, and the banking services are more sophisticated than these countries. Over the last periods during the pandemic or the curfew and quarantine, the e-services complemented the procedures taken by the government for the safety and security of the citizens. All the basic services which enable the private sector or the government sector, often at the level of individuals, they can get all their services at home without visiting the physical banking facilities. And I think due to this pandemic will increase the use of e-services, and we try to enhance and promote all these services. Thank you to Allah. It was a good test for us and excellent test for the ability of the banking sector to enable the private sector and the government sector and the individuals to exercise their businesses despite the partial and complete curfew in different parts of the kingdom. No doubt, we talk about the financial and the banking services, and precisely at Etimad platform, as His Excellency Ahmed Swasan mentioned, that the letter of guarantee is one of the remarkable services provided during the curfew to provide the e-letter guarantee. In the past, it was impossible. The customer took it as a document to provide for the public tenders. Now, all these processes are done in electronic manners because it's done through electronic link with the bankers. This is for one example, and for the other products, I think they are source of pride for us, and they will better serve us in the next period. Mr. Sami Sindi, the Saudi Airlines has a enriching experience in supporting digital transformation in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Today, with the transformation regarding the government transportation request, one of the most important features and the challenges that you have faced for the government IRCAB to have this sophisticated platform. And the Saudi Airlines were leaders in this regard. First of all, I would like His Excellency Ahmed Suwayan for the efforts and for the individuals and contributing for this project. This project is a paradigm shift and leap to facilitate travel procedures and measures. And now we can issue it. It was a big trouble and burden to get a ticket from offices, but now through and via the project of IRCAB, government transportation request, this IRCAB, this electronic service for the customers. They can apply via Etimad to get the travel request and get the approval and the book ticket via Saudi Airlines without the necessity to go to the physical offices of the Saudi Airlines. And this is well relieve the high cost and raise the quality of the services. And this is a milestone and a paradigm shift for the customer service and facilitating the procedures and for cost saving. Wonderful, Mr. Ahmed Al-Majid, in your capacity as a specialist and expert in the credit information. Like to know the role of digital information in reaching the information and its impact supporting banking system. Good evening to you all. I would like to congratulate Ministry of Finance for this wonderful and remarkable achievements, which is one of the main pillars at Etimad platform, which will be one of the bedrocks of digital transformation and contribute the supporting the lending and the banking sectors. One of the most important features, which is high volume of between across different sectors. And this volume makes the country the highest among the G20. And we didn't have a specialized entity that document the trade. And in Bayan, we focused on digital transformation, which try to institutionalize one of the most important pillars to follow up this information and to focus on the digital transformation. Digital transformation created flexible business environment and the ranking of banking credits of the kingdom has been advanced, and this can help to attract investment and facilitate the growth in the facilitation given to SMEs, which is one of the most important objectives of Vision 2030. And in the end, we think the credit information companies seeks to raise the credit contribution by opening the floor and the room for the creditors and their customers. If you allow me, we would take a break to look at what has been said about Etimad platform. This is a high level of maturity of e-government services given by the government, and this maturity took place because of the concerted efforts by private sector and the government sectors, led by the Ministry of Finance, which has the credit for the paradigm shift in the procedures, and the minister and the leader of the digital transformation. We are so happy with the Ministry of Finance, and we're one of the leading agencies to help them, despite having made huge achievements. We still have a high ambition because this system is poised to provide any available service. In Munshaat, we empower SMEs to be able to compete and grow through a number of different programs, such as access to market and getting finance, access to finance, and the ease of doing business by working with our partners in the private and the public sector. Lately, Etimad's platform was launched to enable SMEs to reach the government procurement. This platform has helped SMEs to have an access to 27% over the recent period of time. I invite SMEs to apply for any procurement via Etimad to be able to get into the huge market. Etimad's platform has enabled and empowered us to get familiar with the procedures and the ability to where to find the challenges and problems, and they're able to identify the government entity and the type of challenge and the time of a challenge. To get all this information, this has helped us to take the optimal and appropriate measures. This helped us during the pandemic, and the Minister of Finance wasn't affected by this pandemic. And thank you to Allah, the infrastructure, the development of infrastructure is taking place at rapid pace, with the taking into consideration the requirements of business sectors. In business sector, we consider Etimad the main and key player to achieve and realize the objectives of Vision 2030. We have launched a number of services, including the government procurements and its integration with the Etimad to provide the new financing methods. SMEs and the Saudi Payment Authority enable the private sector to integrate and to conduct transactions. All these initiatives and services will contribute to achieve all these targets and objectives and reduce the cash transactions. And this is the main goal and drive of SAMA. We take pride of the Saudi payment. We take pride of the contributions and achievements of Etimad in creating innovative services which can help in the end of the day to realize Vision 2030. A government is made of integrated services such as e-commerce, business, as the justice sector, which under the governance of this platform. One of the most important features of digital transformation is Etimad. Etimad has made a paradigm shift in digital transformation for the private and public sector. Etimad will complete the third decade, which covers different services such as contracting and other services. We are so happy to be a partner with the to be a key partners. I think Etimad platform is the sole platform in the region which succeeded in which has ecosystem linking and integrating all government services and linking Mushaat to serve government entities and to execute different projects. The role of the platform is remarkable to increase the spending efficiency and to enhance transparency and the expedition of achievements. And it has created a cooperative economy as integrated platform, and this helped hugely to support local content. And this platform is very vital as provide one of this service a completed package, including the future of having access to finance. We are so happy in social development bank to be part of this journey. We would like to congratulate our colleagues in Etimad to provide different services which leads to having a commerces which can help private and public sector. Etimad to provide the smart and the better services, and they can integrate between the private and public sector. The most important point which looking into the service from the journey of the beneficiary and the users, more than being a service from Minister of Finance. So the beneficiary now has a wonderful and integrated journey, transparent journey through which they can start and end all financial services through Etimad platform. This is not the Etimad platform is not a just digital transformation, but it makes full use of technology to reach digital economy. This is can create a economy and a digital economy use the state of art and sophisticated technology to avoid any errors. We exchange with our colleagues from private and public sector. We should have digital platform as such as Etimad and the smart one to provide logistics service. Etimad has redefined the government procedures, starting with the unified services to save time, cost, and efforts, and to reduce costs, and the cooperation and exchange of information, sharing information between private and private sector. I would like to thank the Etimad platform. Thank you for for this short video. Now we resume this panel discussion. We start with Mr. Abdurrahman. Ms. Mary, you mentioned that you will follow up the application of local content through your portal, which will be launched within the few days as part of Etimad platform. We need to know more about the services provided by this platform to public and the private sector. First of all, I would like to provide definition of local content. I'm talking about the total spend within labor, services, goods, assets, and technology. The total spend on these elements inside the kingdom. If you look at the kingdom economy, the main driver is government spending. So having Etimad, the platform, as a solution, digital solution for the government procurement and its integration with our portal, which we work with our colleagues from Ministry of Finance, is integrated solution to apply, to be committed with the requirements of local content through the government procurement. The portal will provide a number of services, notably the bidders can submit their information and data to measure the local content, and having certificates from the LCGPA to enable them to participate and take part in government procurement. And this can help them by measuring the local content. So through this portal, we can institutionalize the data of local content and measure it with a reliable manner by third party. It will be part and parcel of Etimad, and it will help us to achieve the requirements of local content, which will provide for the government entities to follow the obligations of the contractor for the local content. It will help us at LCGPA to follow the contractors, because they will file periodical reports for the progress of the project, and it will be in the benefit of the private sector, because they can give them accurate image about the local content at the level of the entity, and what are the opportunity to improve the chances of local content in supply chains and other elements and the components. Engineer Faisal, Etimad platform has confirmed with the other initiatives that digital governance can contribute reducing the administrative challenges. What is the impact of this on government recap, integration of services, reports, indicators, and the salary inquiry to enhance digital governance? No doubt, Mr. Mohammed, has a huge impact, but I would like to go back to 2018 when Etimad was launched. when Etimad was launched at that time, addressed the challenges at the level of the Ministry of Finance, challenges related to payment orders and the communication between the ministry and the other government entities. And it has made a huge paradigm shift with the development of this platform. And I would like to thank the colleagues for setting a vision for this platform. We start to address these challenges, which include the entire sector through the system of salaries and the payroll of employees. This process help the decision makers to get accurate data about employees and their payroll and other allowances and the benefits and the compensation, and this is make a huge paradigm shift. We are talking about a new phase, a new stage of Etimad, which provide added value for the beneficiaries. And the segment of the beneficiaries has been enlarged to include the government and the private sector, targeting the government employee in direct manner. And I think, and through this services, government RCAB and inquiring about the payroll and salaries and the compensation in cooperation with the Human Resource and Social Development Minister. This will make paradigm shift and enhance a lot of aspects. The most important one, enhance and boost and promote integrity of procedures. In addition to this, all these procedures and measures which confide to the employee will increase their loyalty and their focus, and this can make a huge development in the government. And in fact, I would like to express my deep thanks and appreciation for the people who run this platform. At the head of them, Mr. Ahmed Swain, and we still have a lot to provide of services for the government employee and government sector. Mr. Tariq, Etimad platform is working to launch financing and waiving entitlements and dues. So what are the services that you are expect to overcome such challenges? No doubt that the financier, when finance the contractor or service providers, the requirements needed that dues should be cash directly to specific bank account to refund the funds provided by the bank. This letter is asked from the bank, and it takes huge. It consumed a lot of time, and it's a time-consuming process. Even if having this letter with the bank, it can be lost in the ministry, and the paper transactions can subject and can expose to forgery. And I hope that and the time needed for this, we have reduced this time, so it's linking transactions approval. This can guarantee and ensure swift response. And this is now we have removed all paper transactions, and this was a huge relief for us. It was a time-consuming process. It has saved a lot of time for us, and this is we'll put an end for this, and we will ensure speed transactions. Mr. Sami Sindi, today, how can you see Etimad platform in running government RCAB, government transportation request? This is now it has become a fully fledged electronic services. Today, the employee now they can book the Saudi Airlines and has specific destination, and the concerned authority give them the budget and their approval, and it takes 1 day or 2 days, and then the paper government cab then go to the Saudi airline office. It might take about half an hour to apply this request, and the booking might not be available at that time. So they can repeat these procedures, and if he managed to book now, the burden over the Saudi Airlines, because we have a lot of government air cab in thousands with the we need time to accurate because we have a lot of data that we need to verify. Then we provide them to the Minister of Finance to verify. So the current situation is full of difficulties, ample with difficulties and hardships. Right now, Etimad the platform and the linking cab and the linking with the Saudi Airlines has facilitated this process a lot. The customer right now, they can log into the Saudi Airlines via tickets and go to the concerned authorities to get approval, and to get approval electronic and e-approval. Then the booking is taking place, and the government cab through this platform can filed via Etimad. Now we have totally different procedures. This is reduced cost and time, and this requires a large number of persons to edit and to review from two sides, and to enhance the mechanism of the procedures. So this is a crucial paradigm shift. Today, the government IRCAB now has been made easy. Yes, it has been made easy and more flexible, and services right now, there are services for now we have a lot of experience with the Ministry of Human Resources, services for the disabled and facilitate their transaction. All these measures and procedures will be done through Etimad to raise the quality of the service provided by Saudi Airlines. Wonderful. Mr. Ahmed Al-Majid, to what extent Etimad will support the credit information to banking sector given the service launched of finance product? How can you see all this service and the role of Etimad to enhance the banking sector? Now we have well-integrated infrastructure and available digital infrastructure. We have still some aspects that we complemented by Etimad, which will provide information about indicators, KPIs, and employees information. I would like to talk about the government employees pay rule. I think this is a paradigm shift, because it can enhance and promote providing digital services. All services of banking sectors one of the most important obstacles is to get the data about salaries and the payroll in accurate and reliable manner. Now the Etimad has stepped in to provide such services which will help us to provide personal loans, and I think this is a great achievements, and it will reduce the credit risks and relieve the burden on government entities to issue salary data. So will help the financiers to get all data from one source. And I would like to second Mr. Tariq Sadhan for the government orders. Will make a paradigm shift, and it will identify and demonstrate the who entitled for such a payment, and which this all can be done via Etimad platform. Mr. Tariq Sadhan, I would like to ask you, what is the impact of these products on retail sector? What Mr. Ahmed Al-Majid has said is very important in banking sectors. The data that we need to get data about the allowances, salaries, payroll. Now we have reliable source via Etimad. We can get all this data. We have easy access to this data. So I have a data which provide reliable data about the salaries, deductions, and deductibles, and a lot of features and the benefits for direct deduction. In the past, we faced a lot of troubles and obstacles because the employer has his salary with another bank. So it's not necessary to transfer their salary. Now I can get all the data from the platform. This is the wonderful and the beauty of the platform, and part of data that we get, and reliable and accurate data, and the mechanism of deductions as well. This can help me to save time, to help me to deduct any deductions, and now there is no need to transfer their bank account, but by using this platform we can get easy process. Mr. Abdulrahman Samari, what about the benefit for the longer term for the government to enhance and promote local content, and the role of the Etimad platform to post and enhance all these chances or these opportunities? And now I will ask Mr. Faisal Bakhshwain, Engineer Faisal Bakhshwain, the role of Etimad platform to facilitate business for the government employee, and the role of Minister of Human Resources and Social Development. The relation is close, and we have addressed a lot of aspects related to the data of the employees and their historical registry since joining the service until the current situation. This data is part of the information available on Etimad platform, with linking with the Masar platform, and we have integration regarding the current data for employees, the data of qualification and the university degree, and the positions, and information about the current position. This contributed, and Etimad helped us a lot to facilitate for the employee to get easy access to the service. We will have a break right now, and we will watch a short documentary for the Ministry of Finance to get a certificate from Yasser. It was a to align with the requirements of businesses and information technology. We facilitate and enhance the procedures, and we raise the performance efficiency and in alignment with the government procedures and the Ministry of Finance. Today, as the Ministry of Finance is the backbone of the achievement of e-transaction is yes, sir, and the impact is clear. We will achieve this huge progress. This certificate today was given based on all these achievements that we have made, and this technology is able to accommodate this ambition. To be in the forefront, being the first ministry to get the accreditation of the digital infrastructure based on the in the light of national methodology. Welcome back, dear viewers and dear panelists. This is the final topic tonight, how to foresight the digital transformation in the kingdom. How can you see the future of the local content portal to enable it to achieve and realize the strategic objectives of this of LCGPA? For sure, digital transformation is part and parcel of the success of any organization. We at LCGPA, the digital tools are very important for us, whether in Etimad or our portal, and the integration can help to ensure commitment to fulfill the requirements and the objectives of local content. We have ambition that this will be a big driver for us to promote and develop national industries and create sustainable jobs, and to consolidate and deepen the roots of local content via Etimad platform. In the private sector and the public sector, to communicate the importance of local content and give a preference to SMEs for the local content. Engineer Faisal, today, Corona crisis proved the importance and significance of digital transformation. For you, how can we remove such obstacles, and to what extent the new products launched by Etimad will enhance and develop this infrastructure? First of all, we pray to Allah to save us, safeguard from this pandemic without any no doubt, if we look at the positive aspect of this topic, all government entities started to pay attention to this topic in a larger manner, and they activate it at larger scale. And we have seen some change in business models for some entities, and we for example, for the Human Resources Ministry, now the dispute settlement is done electronically, and some entities right now activate and promote the digital transformations for the benefits of the end consumer in a better manner. And we have seen a huge activation for telework, and most of the entities have taken this approach and have this thinking. Now we have virtual events and meeting and webinars, and this webinar is a good reflection. This is now it has become part and parcel of our daily life now to have this webinar, and the digital transformation hugely contributed to changing business models and to deal with the end beneficiaries and users. The pandemic has created a lot of opportunities, notably e-learning, telework, judiciary, and litigation. A lot of things have been activated during and after this pandemic. Now I ask Mr. Abdurrahman Smari today, what about the benefit the kingdom can reap from enhancing local content in the long run, and promoting these opportunities. Promoting local content is one of the pillars of the Vision 2030, and it will be the main driver of diversification of national economy to move away from oil. This create jobs for the citizen, and this is the main pillar. And we have seen the importance and significance of local content during Corona pandemic, and we have seen national services and the products promoted and enhanced the security aspects of the government from different aspects. So the local content is one pillars of the Vision 2030. It's a strategic approach and thinking of the government, and we are so determined and resolute to achieve all these aspirations and realize the objectives of the local content and the national economy level. Mr. Tariq Sadhan, how can the banking sector benefit from the transparency provided by indicators and the reporting provided to the contractors? How can you make the best benefit and the best the best use of it, the best advantage of it? No doubt providing such information is very important for us. We make our decisions of investment and financing. I'm talking about investment which is based on data. Transparency and reliability are very important aspects. Having access to data of high and reliable source. In the past, it was a huge challenge to get data from reliable sources. Now, with the electronic linkage, everything has become available to get such information and data from one source without any intermediaries. So this can better serve us, and without no doubt, we are partners as beneficiaries of the services provided by the government, services and transactions. We have seen huge development in such services and the enablers as well to be partners with the electronic linkage. The government entities can take advantage of the service provided banking and the private sector, and the individuals can get benefit of them. We can say that we are strategic partner to private sector and the government sector and the beneficiary of the services provided by the government, a service via Etimad platform and other services. Mr. Sami Sende, if I ask you today, we we talked about flexibility and the flexibility provided by Etimad for government aircab. If we ask the impact which this platform in regard of raising the performance efficiency and the operational capacity, the flexibility and the agility for the Saudi Airlines. The more we have the access to direct with the customers, to have direct access to the customers, to get AirCab, government AirCab, this can better help us, and this is will reduce the time and the cost. If we have flexibility in place and it's easy procedures for the customers and the clients, this is for the Saudi Airlines. This increase to use such a services in frequent manner, and this is can help us in a lot of aspects. Now if these passengers take his family and want to book a ticket for the family, they can be included in the same booking, and he can pay the expenses of the other members of the family. We can provide the hospitality services and the hotel services and vacations. This will in turn increase the products that we can sell to the customers. In terms of the relation will be improved between the customer and the Saudi Airlines for the current situation. Right, we can see some frustration, and this have negative impact on the image of the Saudi Airlines, and this can increase the procedures, and this can facilitate a lot of transactions and the products we sell to the customers. Mr. Sami, we can say that in the past we had some sort of rotation. When you get AirCab request, you go to the Saudi Airlines office. Today, with the automation of such services, the operational capacity, the requests will increase, will be on rise compared to the past. No doubt, and at the same time, for the productivity will be higher in the Ministry of Finance, and this is will reduce time and the efforts and the costs for the productivity of the employee. It will be improved in terms of finance. For the Saudi Airlines, it will also improve the current situation to collect all the paper requests and to verify and correct the mistakes. I'm talking about 1,000. All this consume time, and it has different dimensions. We will provide solution by using Etimad platform. And Mr. Abdulrahman, we are so happy to cooperate, and we gear up to cooperate with Etimad via Safir. Yes, sir. Different and the various platforms, and right now we are working on and developing a platform in cooperation with different government agencies and entities. Mr. Abdulrahman Istimari, for the local content, will you have some sort of evaluation for the mandatory list? Will you update this mandatory list annually? The list updated regularly. We have launched this list with the regulation in construction and the building sector for more than 100 products, and the pharmaceuticals and the medical supplies, and the updating is on regular basis based on the maturity of a specific sector and the available of national products which should be incorporated in the mandatory list, and we closely follow up the level of products, and we take the insights of the beneficiaries, and we have a feedback to consider the performance of the implementation of such mandatory lists. Mr. Ahmed Al-Majd, how can you evaluate the situation of the credit information, and to what extent it has been impacted by the coronavirus? I'm talking about the credit information. During the crisis, we raised the effectiveness of credit information by providing commercial data information, and all this helped the banks and the creditors to get reliable credit information, and this has led to integration of reliable information to the two parts of the equation for the lender and the borrower for their lending initiatives, and to mitigate the impact and fallout of corona. We raise the readiness of such services to ease and facilitate lending by providing comprehensive lending products to the most affected organizations and entities, and we have provided all these e-services to business to mitigate the impact of this crisis, and so we provide such services on timely manner. Mr. Abdurrahman Al-Samari, now we receive we have opened the floor. Mr. Abdurrahman Al-Samari, how can LCGPA activate the local content to ensure the implementation of the requirements of local content? We follow in systematic manner the documents of tender during December through May or June. We reviewed more than tenders, documents of tender to make sure of the requirements of the local content terms of a preference for price and mandatory list, and we consult with the government agencies to rectify any deficiencies. This is part of our task, and we make sure of such compliance, and the implementation of new regulations is a challenge itself, because the change needs some efforts, but we are fully determined and resolute with the partners from Ministry of Finance and the Center of Spending Efficiency to implement all the new mechanisms, and with the close follow-up through Etimad platform, it has given us the opportunity to facilitate the follow-up with the digitalization of the journey of government procurement, from the developing the documents to the approval, and this is a good driver for us for compliance and commitment. The role of LCGPA in supporting SMEs with the new products launched by Etimad, which will help banking sector to provide easy access to funds and financing. We work with the stakeholders in Minshaat since the inception of GTPL, and we are so keen that SMEs is one of pillars of economic growth. So we have the mechanism of preference for all the projects under 10 million of services, and the preference of price, so they have a competitive advantage with the other bidders of large companies with the price reference of 10% compared with the large companies. And we work in continuous basis with the partners in agency authority to enhance the role of SMEs, and the mandatory list give some sort of direction to help SMEs to get such national products in pharmaceuticals and for construction sector. Mr. Sami Sindi, we have a question. Can the passenger upgrade his class through the platform? The platform, yes, they can upgrade his class, and they can pay the booking of his family. All these facilities are available right now. In the private sector today, what is the role of Saudi Airlines? Does the Saudi airline has a similar rule in the private in the private sector, similar to the public sector? Through the our websites and Saudi app, the transactions with the customers, we have services available, and we improve a lot of procedures for SAN across different platforms that we have. So the same applies on different government sectors. We have the same approach, but for ERCAB is only for the government employees. Mr. Tariq Sadhan, I ask you, with the new products launched by Etimad banking sector, how can you see SMEs, especially in regarding the I'm talking about Sadad, the product, a letter of guarantee, and others. First of all, SMEs sector has witnessed over the last 3 years huge developments. It's a vital and dynamic sector, and it should be a robust and strong sector for any economy. The momentum in this sectors has encouraged bankers to help SMEs, especially in loans. And the Riyadh Bank is a leader in supporting an SMEs sector and providing investments and finance and funds for SMEs. And when the banking sector is able to identify the risk, it can be vital sector, and we have a bright and a promising future for SMEs sector. No doubt, e-services and government e-services give more empowerment and enablement for this sector. Mr. Abdurrahman Simari said that some preference to the SMEs, which give us more, make us more bold to provide more services to SMEs sector. the services provided over the last 4 years give us the more encouragement to give more support to SMEs. Can the credit registration improved? The confidence of the bank can be improved in financing the contractor. If I have electronic access of high reliability, I know that this project has a budget. All these data about this project I have from the government entities with the procurement. A lot of things closely linked in the past in the bank. I have some doubts if this suppliers and contractor has fully implemented the project or has any disputes with the project owners from the government agencies. This can give us more comfort and confidence. In the future, we can identify areas of improvements, and I can look at the track of the contractor that if he has a problem-free record and registry. I think we have countless benefits of the e-commerce services. How can you see the equality of integration in electronic linkage and the role of Etimad platform in this regard? I have not one of in some of the products explained and reviewed by His Excellency Engineer Ahmed, which will address one of the most important challenges with the government entities, which is the linkage with government entities. Now we will have direct communications with government agencies for payments order. Having such integration in Yasser and Etimad, this will facilitate for the financial officer to implement the transactions in RD. This will make a paradigm shift, and this is will help and reduce a lot of procedures. This product, in I think, we have long waited, and this will help the financial officers to facilitate their procedures. Engineer Faisal, with the payroll and salary, do you think there is a deep partnership with the Etimad platform to better serve the government employees? No doubt we started with the two services. We talk about the payroll and the data of government employees, but the depth of partnership is more than that. We target employees or the HR officials to manage the affairs of promotion grievances of employees. By targeting the employee, this will enlarge and deepen the partnership with the Minister of Finance to apply optimal services for the employee to improve productivity of the employee. My question before I conclude, my question to all panelists: how can you see digital transformation services overall in general? Digital transformation is limitless, linking the public and private sector. The innovation is a sky limit, and development process will be continued, and we see a developments and innovation after innovation. We started with the Abshir, with the Ministry of Interior and Etimad platform, and we are expecting more surprises which can provide better service for the beneficiaries and the end user. Mr. Tariq Sadhan, today, how can you see digital transformation that we have right now? It's amazing, as I said in the beginning, in the very beginning, that as bank sector, we take pride that we are sophisticated in e-banking services. Now the government has become a competitor, and we need such a competition for the better benefits of the nation to serve banking and sector and the government sectors and individuals. As my colleagues have said, we have a huge room, and the leaps taken by the government are more than wonderful with the young leadership in private and the public sectors. Nothing is impossible. Mr. Sami Sindi, digital transformation in the kingdom. How can you see this digital transformation? I see this transformation and the situation compared with it 5 years ago. Actually, as I said before, in some countries, compared to some countries, this is considered the government has taken huge strides in digital transformation, and now we have become one of the most sophisticated and advanced countries in this regard, and linking the private sector and the government sector with banking sector. Now, I think all these services in the private sector or government or offshore, and it's unthinkable, and it's a source of pride, and the future is promising, and the brighter. Mr. Abdurrahman Smari, digital transformation. No doubt, digital transformation in the kingdom in terms of infrastructure and applications and services has taken huge leaps, and the pandemic has proven the robustness of this digital transformation that has opened new horizons for us, and the momentum we have right now make me optimistic for more achievements and remarkable achievements. Engineer Faisal, how can you see digital transformation right now? I would like to pay much stress on what Mr. Sadhan has said, that we have first competition regarding and concerning digital transformation, with the transformation taking place in public sector, and this positively reflected on the citizen and on the service provided to them. And I am so happy and delighted to be being part of this transformation. As I said, the government is making huge leaps during this period regarding the international rankings and indicators, and we still have a lot to do regarding the digital transformation. Would like to thank Mr. Ahmed Al-Majid, Tariq Sadhan, Mr. Sami Sindi, Mr. Abdurrahman Samari, Engineer Faisal Bakhshwin. I would like to thank you, and I'm so happy to be with you tonight, and see you soon. Thank you.